For Off the Block. I'm Vinny Lopes, and we are now joined by the assistant coach of one of the hottest teams in college men's volleyball right now, Greg Walker, as USC Southern California. They sweep BYU tonight to keep that momentum going. Can Coach have to ask, you guys were able to pull it out tonight. How you hit more than 400? How would you assess your team's play?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. Our team is just grinding. I mean, tonight we wanted to improve our performance over last night, and the guys just responded really well. Both nights we knew we had super tough opponents. It was just an opportunity to get better. So yeah, I mean, it was great all around from our team, from on the court, off the court. The amount of support was great tonight.
Coach, I want to ask you about your setter, Chris Hall. He really has seemed to be coming into his own these last couple of weeks. What have you seen about his play that's really elevated the team in recent weeks?
Yeah, Chris has, he's been incredible to work with this year, and all of our setters, and their decision making that we train, their attention to details. Especially like how we change things in games, like offensively. I know Chris, it's fun in practice. He gets to, play around with our hitters and run different routes, and it's kind of just exploratory, but it's really cool to see in game some of the stuff that we kind of play around with in practice repeatedly, that, he's confident with the hitters and them being able to put balls away. And Chris has just been incredible with it. And like I said, he's got two other setters right with him that are pushing every day in the gym. And but yeah, Chris has been incredible in his performance, especially here in this part of the season.
And Coach, it seems like you guys have started to develop a three-headed monster at the pins. You look at the numbers tonight, two of your starting pins, double-digit kills. Ryan Moss, 9 kills on the night, but hit more than 450. Can you just talk about the job that the pins are doing? And I'm assuming that has to be nice to have three guys who can just terminate the ball at any time.
Yeah. Our pins are great. They, especially this part of the season, like you said. We returned, all these guys with experience, and I think what makes it special too, you're just talking about Chris, is that these hitters are really trusting the offensive stuff that they're trying to do against their teams. And but yeah, tonight, Gianluca hit well over 300. Moss has almost hit 500 the night on the right pin, and these guys being able to keep us on the net serve receive gives us so many opportunities to be able to set ourselves up. But yeah, it's great. Especially in these matches, how we're able to kind of just balance things out. It makes it really hard to defend, and these guys have stepped up to it. It's been incredible.
Coach, I'm sure that some people were wondering after the huge win against Long Beach State last weekend, would there be any type of letdown from that? And clearly there wasn't. You got 2 wins. But I want to ask, as a coaching staff, what do you guys do to tell your players, or what do you guys do to make sure that there wasn't any type of letdown from your players?
Yeah, collectively as a whole, this is a program, and that's from all the way from the staff down to the players. It's it was an incredible home win. We tried to we just worried about what we had to do and take care of business. And Long Beach is such a talented team. It's but we our guys are extremely talented too. And I think just having that, being able to battle it out. It was a great game. And so when we came back from that, we just took it as a learning experience. We kind of reset the thing and said, hey, it's an incredible win, and we recognize it for what it was. But at the end of the day, it was a non-conference match, and it got us ready extremely for these matches that we have to play here at the end of the season. And the 4 games that we had after that is everybody in front of us in the MPSF. So it was a great test, and especially having Long Beach at home. It was awesome. The guys have gotten a really good rhythm here at home too. But yeah, the guys kept focused. They knew what that prepared us for, and just that buy-in to it, made it, I guess, translated that into the weekend, like this weekend, extremely well.
And what would you say has been the biggest improvement that you've seen from the Trojans from the start of the season to now?
Man, I'll be honest, I think across the board it's everything. I know it's just kind of a bland thing to say, but everything from, buy-in in the athletes and even through the support staff. I mean, we have an incredible strength conditioning coach. Curtis Schultz is working with the guys. Sports medicine, our athletic trainer Lisa has been, keeping these guys together. And then, we have a super active sports psychologist that works with the team nonstop, just about like mental focus and being able to push through adversity and all these different things that, these guys have just continually gotten better at every match. And just the trust these guys have had. Obviously returning an experienced group like this helps. And, but the senior leadership is incredible. We have so many guys that can lead from different angles and connect with everybody on the team, and that just helps us out so much. So, honestly, from top to bottom, and we could talk offense, defense as much as we want, but at the end of the day, like, these players are what get it. They're the ones that get it done, and it's just been really cool to see them grow since the beginning of the season. Just the growth is, almost hard to, like, even pinpoint as far as, like, a specific thing. It's been so significant as them as people, so it's been cool.
And I want to ask you, just for the team, can you describe what just the emotion has been in this season? That, at the start of the season, there were some tough losses you guys had to now. I know that there's still a lot left to accomplish in your guys' season, but just kind of that journey that you guys have been on so far.
Yeah, those losses early on, I think any team would say, hey, you just don't want to lose. But these guys had a decision to make as far as, do we move forward with it? Do we learn? Or do we pass that opportunity over? And these guys, every opportunity they've had this season, they've taken those key points, those learning opportunities, like at every time. It's so as far as those early losses. We played those teams and they're good. There's nothing taken away from their performance. And for our angle, I'm in some ways it's kind of like that kind of propelled us into what we need to do now. Because obviously those are, these guys who just hate losing. So, I think these elite athletes, they definitely have the right mindset, and every time that we have the opportunities, we played Stanford, BYU, lost at their place. And those guys, they responded. And I think that's kind of the behind the store thing, just how much they respond, and that's the coolest thing to see from this team.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I'm just building off that a little bit. Do you want to, kind of being able to watch some of the online feeds of this match? There really seems to be, whether you call it swagger or joy that your players are having on the court. Possibly there just seems to be an excitement that they have. And I want to ask, how valuable is that to see as a coach when you have players that just seem to be having fun out there?
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the year we had as a team, we talked a lot as a staff and then the team about it, and we wanted to be when we talk about identity, we wanted to be a fun team to watch. Pro sports are all, it's performing, and these guys, with the energy they're playing with and the excitement, it just, I think there's one thing that we always joke about, just too much emotion. And then there's stuff where, we're just draining the emotion. But these guys have really found ways to, elevate and support each other. Our guys on the bench, they're as involved as any team I've ever seen as far as being involved and engaged every point, being ready to go when they're called on. I know, that's something our head coach, Jeff, preaches all the time. And, and our other assistant, Gary. And it's great to see them, just a program engage. So, I think that's been a cool thing that they buy into. Let's have fun, and obviously, when we have the pressure, I think it's cool to see that they seize that as an opportunity to have fun. So that's been a good thing.
And Coach, one final question before we let you go. Obviously, the schedule doesn't get any easier. You got Pepperdine, You got UCLA. Can you just give us a quick little preview on what we can expect or what you're expecting from those two matches?
Yeah, we play the top two teams in our conference, and we've kind of had this escalation, and we've built this confidence and this execution standpoint. So Pepperdine and UCLA, they're great teams, and they're great teams. They have great coaches, they have great athletes, and all we can do on our end is prep our side of the net, and just hope we're super competitive when we get there. These guys have built that confidence over and over again, so. We as a staff are super pumped to see them get out there against this. And, it's funny tonight, Gary Sato, our other assistant, had said, about, you just let the horses go. We just want them to go out and compete like they've been trained for this. And so, we're super excited to have the opportunity.